coming up.
We look at bulls that are cow producers.
One of the objects of this is to get these half-blood Braunvieh heifers and start a herd of those.
The Braunvieh may play a role in our female population throughout the South.
Excellent quality of calves. The muscling is very evident.
With siring and crossbreed vigor, Braunvieh cattle are the complete commercial package. Next on The American Rancher. Hello and welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. A strong attribute for any beef cattle breed is flexibility. This week, we'll see Braunvieh cattle at work on ranches in several states. These operations use Braunvieh cattle for the breed's impressive sire traits, as well as its versatility in crossbreeding with English, Continental, and Brahman cattle. You'll also see how adaptable they are to environments across the country from north to south. Braunvieh cattle excel with hybrid vigor, high performance, and are ideal for cattlemen retaining ownership from the pasture to the rail. Braunvieh cattle work well for stockmen who are in the beef business that will retain ownership of their cattle all the way from the pasture to the rail.
We're in this for the beef, and when we first came into the business, we thought, what do we want to raise? And there are lots of different flavors. And we decided really that instead of a flavor being Hereford or Angus or Braunvieh or Simmental, we decided the flavor we wanted to raise was beef. What quality of beef, what type of beef do we want to raise? When the hide comes off, the colors are relevant, and the Braunvieh will excel.
Art and Mary Brownlee of the JHL Ranch have been involved with Braunvieh cattle since 1991 and have owned cattle from ranch to rail for years and maintain excellent records of the harvest performance of their cattle. Braunvieh have brought them handsome returns and overall program enrichment.
The truth revealed is what grid program is. When you sell actually a slit in the hide or 12th and 13th rib, and they look at that rib eye, that's when you know what you produce is what you produced. And you can work that bull in or out of your program that way by looking at what they produced on the line.
A Braunvieh bull works, one of his greatest contributions aside from the beef production is his daughters. And we just love the cows. I don't care if it's a quarter blood, a three-quarter blood, we love the cows.
We look at bulls that are cow producers. And what does that mean? That means what kind of milk will she produce out of that bull? What's that bull throwing? As far as milk, EPDs, as far as easy keeping, as far as fleshing ability, as far as fertility. The bull is key, but you have to look at it from a cow aspect, is what's he going to do for the cow. About 20 years ago when we came onto the place, there was a Continental cross, Braunvieh and Angus, and we thought, well, that's kind of interesting cross, so try it out. And as we looked at the beef that was produced from those animals, we thought, well, what can we do to be any different? Harlan Duskett was offering Braunvieh, and he offered numbers with the Braunvieh. He was doing ultrasound, he was doing lots of things with Braunvieh that no one had done before in the industry. And we thought, well, let's take a look at that breed. And so we compared them between Braunvieh and Braunvieh and Angus. And on the cows that we had, that we put them on, the Braunvieh excelled. We ended up being in a rotation that is just Angus and Braunvieh.
Out here particularly, we can get our yearling heifers bred, but it's that second calf. She's nursing a baby, she's growing herself, she's shedding her teeth, and we expect her to get rebred. And if she's thin, she's not going to do it. So if a bull can do his job and grow and still look good, those are the daughters I want to keep.
When combined with an Angus or English-based program, Braunvieh influence brings milk, bone, muscle, advanced maturity, and fertility. The breed is documented continually as an excellent choice in a commercial cow-calf operation.
They serve the purpose for us, Braunvieh have. Just astounding what we've been able to do with them. far as carcasses. We've had Braunvieh bulls that we've tracked that will be better marbling bulls than any Angus bull we've used, and they're huge, huge Angus bulls that we've had good marbling in. I mean, they've been excellent bulls. The way you find them, as far as the carcass goes, is you have to keep ownership. You have to retain ownership, or if you have to sell the cattle, then you need to track them.
Up next.
That's one of the objects of this, is to get these half-blood F1 Braunvieh heifers and start a herd of those.
Braunvieh excel as a versatile crossbreeding package with practically every other breed category. That story is next on The American Rancher. Welcome back to The American Rancher. Braunvieh cattle stand out for their siring ability, but combined with crossbreeding flexibility compared to other cattle breeds, Braunvieh really shine. Braunvieh are a moderate-framed, highly adaptable breed. They cross well with most any type of English, Continental, or Brahman-based herd, and will bring favorable heterosis to the overall program from both maternal and carcass aspects. What is also notable about Braunvieh is their ability to adapt well and thrive in climates that range from the cold to hot and humid. They are efficient, consistently gain, grade and yield, and possess longevity that trumps most breeds. The crossing of Braunvieh with Angus cattle is proven to be a very strong program in many parts of the country. Today, we'll see that Braunvieh are working with other types of cattle and bringing optimal results. Ranchers have a continual need to revitalize their programs with fresh genetics and outcross strategies. The Braunvieh bull works in that he brings a genetic base that will produce effective feeder and replacement cattle.
I bought this set of cows, and with the intent, to find a good breed to cross them with to get that hybrid vigor, and Herefords are a good foundation to start with. Did some research with the Meat Animal Research Center data where I could compare crossbreed EPDs, and Braunvieh's really impressed me, and I did more research, and it's a great cross with the Hereford.
Kim Walton is a beef producer outside Lavernia, Texas, which is about 30 miles east of San Antonio. Kim has his first calf crop of Braunvieh sired calves off of Hereford cows, and they are doing well.
We AI'd to a full-blood bull, and he threw most of these redneck, kind of faded out Hereford colored calves. The cleanup bulls to the AI were pure blood, homozygous polled and homozygous blacks.
The calves carry a nice full hindquarter and show good hybrid pop from the F1 cross.
Excellent quality of calves. The muscling is very evident. Their hindquarters and their muscling all the way down their loin. To me, that's what I want in a calf. They throw that kind of muscling right at birth. They're going to make some great calves and some very good heifers. And that's one of the objects of this, is to get these half-blood F1 Braunvieh heifers and start a herd of those. Maternal infertility, I want to incorporate that udder on these F1 Braunvieh Hereford crosses. They lay down a little less internal body fat. They don't put down as much to grade out choice as some of the other breeds do. I think they're going to be plenty adaptable. And the efficiency, the cattle aren't large cattle, they're a medium frame cow. So to me, these Herefords are the same moderate frame. I think it's just going to work out real well.
The crossbreeding advantages are Braunvieh are moderate framed, very maternal, and high marbling. When crossed with English breeds, Braunvieh will improve yield grades without sacrificing maternal and marbling. When crossed with Continental breeds, Braunvieh will improve marbling and maternal without sacrificing muscling. When crossed with Bos Indicus breeds, Braunvieh will improve marbling and in many cases improve maternal and muscling without losing heat tolerance. Outside Frederick, Oklahoma, Jerry Mitchell and Sons continue a very steady and successful commercial cattle operation that has been anchored by Braunvieh bulls some 10 years.
These cows are coming with their third calf. The bulls that we've got on them, we just started using Braunvieh bulls, 8 to 10 years ago. We usually wean somewhere around the 1st of October. If we've got wheat pasture, we go to wheat pasture with them. Sometimes we do grow them a little further in our feeding pens. When they go to our feeding pens, they really do blossom then. They really do convert the feed from well to beef. All ranchers know about hybrid vigor, and growth is what we're interested in, and we sell pounds. And they'll weigh from 550 to 575 whenever we wean them. These calves that we're getting out of these Braunviehs now, there's no problem in calving. They weigh somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 to 80 pounds whenever they're born.
With the temperature more than 100 degrees on summer days with little shade, the Braunvieh bulls have their working clothes on and are servicing the cows. Available harvest data is consistently choice and up for the Mitchell calves.
These Red Angus cows here, they come from over in eastern Oklahoma. They are carrying just a little bit of Bremer influence on them because you can kind of pick it up in their ears. Some of these Braunvieh bulls that we've got on some of those Red Angus, they're a golden link bull. They come from Nebraska. Those bulls are really, really thick and really big bone bulls, and they transmit that to the calves just as well as these does here. The bulls here, they've adapted really well for us. We have no problem there.
Braunvieh cross females are repeatedly regarded as the best cows on the ranch. They are a powerful, productive replacement female, particularly when crossed on English and Brahman cattle. Hallettsville, Texas is located 40 miles north of Victoria and about 70 miles from the Texas Gulf Coast. It is good cattle country that can be extremely hot and humid for several months out of the year.
This is my first calf crop with Braunvieh calves, and I started with heifer Brahma cattle, and saw what the market was doing at the different sales for these type cattle, and said, well, I'm going to try them. When I first turned these bulls out with my heifers, he immediately started checking them. And based on the age that the heifers were and the date of my calves, they service fairly soon to be Brahma mamas. I think that South Texas can use these kind of cattle because they do well. We have to have that Brahma cattle down here, but we like to have something that puts a little more milking ability and a little more flesh on their bones and a little better carcass, and the Braunvieh can do that with the Brahma cattle.
The F1 Braunvieh Brahman Cross, or Braun Bray, has become a highly desired replacement female in this South Texas country, commanding as much as $600 to $800 more per head than other replacements in recent market seasons.
I had a bunch of cattle, Brahma cattle, for years with Brahma bulls, and then we tried the Hereford, and we finally decided to go with the Braunvieh bulls. 4 years ago, this is my 4th calf crop right here, and looked like it seems to be working well with the Brahma cows. Got good calves, thick calves, lots of muscle, lots of marbling, and good replacement heifers that work well in South Texas. You got to get the quarter Brahma at least in some of your calves to make them grow. So this F1 Braun Bray works very well down here in South Texas. I have no problem selling the F1 Braun Bray heifers out to individuals. You very seldom see them at a sale ring now because it won't make it that far. Everybody sells them out to pasture. And the bull calves got lots of muscle, lots of marbling, straight, as you can see here. And I also had some calls this year. My bigger calves from this crop, we sold them as F1 bull calves. They'll work in the feedlot, they'll work anywhere. The Braunvieh cattle are great.
Frank Kupka has quite a few of the F1 Braunvieh Brahman cows in his herd and breeds them to Charolais bulls.
It's a good cross.
Brahman and Braunvieh, and with the short leg cross bulls on them. They milk real good, and they breed back, easy to handle. We started off with Brahman cows and Braunvieh bulls, and this is where we got our start here with what we have. Last year was the first year that we kept some heifers out of them. They were January, February calves last year, and I'm sure most of them are bred by now.
Randy Dornack also uses Braunvieh bulls in his program on the straight gray Brahman cows with great results. He has a number of other Braunvieh-influenced cattle that he is developing, and his daughter Tori will be showing a Braunvieh Brahman cross heifer as an ag project in the coming school year.
They are 20-month-old F1 Brahma Braunvieh cross. We call them Braunvieh. They are very gentle and they're very pretty, and I'm showing them in the Hallettsville Junior Livestock Show, and I compete in the Lavaca County 4-H in Hallettsville, Texas, in the commercial heifer division for the stock show. I do see a future because here in South Texas, it's very hot, and I think that they can adapt to this area well, and I think that more people should put them in the commercial heifer program, and I think that they will do very well.
Randy has worked with Braunvieh for a number of years and has working cows in his operation that are still productive at 12 plus years of age. After the break,
With their advantages and their assets, the Braunvieh may play a role in our female population throughout the South.
see how Braunvieh play a strong role in cattle production throughout the South. That story is after the break here on The American Rancher. Welcome back to The American Rancher. Dr. Tim Page is a professor at Louisiana State University's College of Agriculture. Dr. Page shares his insights on Braunvieh cattle in the demanding environments that cattlemen experience in southern states.
The cattle industry has been going through some depressed cattle prices in recent times. We had 3 or 4 really great years, but right now we're dealing with especially depressed calf prices this fall. And producers need to look at other ideas and other ways to market their cattle or add value to their cattle if they're going to remain competitive and profitable in this industry, probably for the next 2 or 3 years.
Dr. Tim Page is a professor in the School of Animal Sciences at Louisiana State University. We were able to catch up with Dr. Page as he was leading a beef marketing strategies conference in Alexandria, sponsored by the LSU Ag Center, LSU School of Animal Sciences, McNeese State University, and Hitch Enterprises of Oklahoma.
You cannot be in this global economy today, no matter what business you're in, but especially the livestock industry, unless you're using every tool that's out there. And at the LSU Ag Center, that's what we've tried to teach and educate our producers about. Use the technology that we have available. But marketing may be one of the most important components, because I don't care how good a product you're producing. If you can't market it, you can't stay in business.
Dr. Page has observed Braunvieh cattle over the years and has procured a number of bulls for beef cattle research.
I've always tried to look for cutting-edge technology as well as genetics. And in the Braunvieh breed, when I started studying it a number of years ago, I saw anecdotal evidence where they really produce high-quality carcasses. So we looked for some of the better Braunvieh genetics we could find, and we started buying some Braunvieh bulls for the LSU Ag Center. And we retain ownership through the feed yard of a lot of our cattle. And Braunvieh sired calves out of all kind of cows. We got crossbred cows, we got Angus cows, we got Brahma cows. But Braunvieh sired calves out of our cows have consistently produced quality carcasses that will grade choice and have really good feed efficiencies and average daily gain.
Dr. Page shared some harvest results with us from Braunvieh calves that were really impressive.
In the last year, and this is just one pen, not every pen is this good, but one pen of Braunvieh sired calves out of all different types of cows graded 98% choice and above. And this was 76 calves in this pen. So we don't always hit that mark, but we're seeing that.
Dr. Page believes Braunvieh cattle can play a significant role in the cattle industry of the Southeast.
Where I really see maybe the Braunvieh having a bigger place down the road, especially in my part of the country, in the Southeast and the South, I think they are so adaptable to this climate. They are great milkers, good mothering. I think that may be the place for the Braunvieh as a breed in the South if we can get those females. Now, maybe not purebred Braunvieh females, but Braunvieh females that maybe have a little ear in them. If we can start adding that to our female herds, we're going to not only increase production, yearling weights, average daily gain in the feed yard, but we're going to be producing quality calves too. So I really think with their advantages and their assets, the Braunvieh may play a role in our female population throughout the South. We've used them personally. I now have producers that I've purchased them for. They're using them in Louisiana. We're having good success with them. I can see the numbers of Braunvieh cattle increasing as time goes along.
Regarding their adaptability, Braunvieh were developed for centuries in the Swiss Alps, where the environment would be below freezing at night and above 60 degrees during the day for most of the year. Braunvieh are very temperature adaptable and do well in all regions of the U.S. from north to south. To learn more about Braunvieh cattle as the complete commercial package, visit braunvieh.org. And for more information about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick for our entire American Rancher team. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Superior.